So, greetings ladies and gentle players, welcome back once more to my real board, and I'm going over another set of Legend88 games. Legend88 today is going to be white for both games I'm going over, with this player also not changing. This is the ever so lovely At Night. This is probably a game set a lot of people have been looking forward to, if I am being completely honest. And we're going to be looking forward to this for a couple of reasons, believe it or not. If you don't know who Legend88 was, long story short, was a professional on Tengen, started off 5 Dan, double ranked, to 7 Dan, double ranked from 7 to 9 Dan, and then once at 9 Dan, proceeded to go over like a 10-game win streak against other professionals. So this guy not only played a basic style, ranking up to 9 Dan, he then smacked a bunch of pros around. This dude's good. Okay? That's all there is to say. This dude's good. And luckily for us, he played a nice basic set against the amateurs, which allows us to learn a lot from those games. And today, oh, do we have some games for you, because At Night had a certain style of play. Indeed, At Night did have a certain style of play. He liked opening up Tengen against one of the most amazing people you ever could have run into. And Legend88 happily played him a couple of times. I want to say they played, let's see, 1, 2, 3... I want to say they played 4 or 5 games, and we're going to be going over all of them over the course of this series. I hope you enjoy. Now, what's really interesting about this set, especially nowadays, we had white opening up the 4-4, but At Night already solved Go, right? At Night already solved it. Because At Night invaded the 3-3 point instantly. Now, this was years before AI, okay? Keep in mind, years before AI. But good old At Night here, he's already onto it. He was apparently the very first human computer cyborg. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? Now, no reason to talk about which direction to block here, because, I mean, if you need that explained to you, we're going to be here a while. So, fun fact here. Black extends. White plays the Hane, which... pretty old school. Pretty old school, right? Black Hane's in return. And white extends. And black extends. White extends. Now, nowadays, you would want to play here, and then, like, play away. In order to try to minimize the damage of the fact that you've invaded and given your opponent a lot of influence here, you're gonna definitely want to try and ensure that you make this not as heavy as possible, and get Sente to play Biggie move elsewhere. Let's see, in the actual game, it doesn't really matter all that much. But he makes this exchange instead. Thus giving a little bit more influence to white, as you can clearly see here. A little bit. But he does maintain Sente, though. Does maintain Sente, which is good. Losing Sente after this variation would definitely be unfortunate, but it's hard to picture how that could ever happen. and takes a corner. Right? Seems good. Seems good. White approaches. Black decides to do a lovely territorial variation here. Right? Just taking up points. As we know from this corner. Interested in them points. The sole idea behind At Night's Tengen move into the 3-3 is to already be reducing the wall that we're giving away. Now, White's dropping down to use influence with this. It's just kind of being consistent. And White then plays here. Now, our answers here also have changed a little bit. Just a little bit. What's interesting about this is there are ways for this variation here to get kind of complicated, but it doesn't. Black descends, which is really, really good, actually. That's what we would do today as well, rather than go into the small avalanche, the large avalanche. White extends. Now, here's where things really change, though. Black plays here to prevent the extend, or the extend down. Nowadays, we would play here. Into the clamp. And from here, the game would get a little bit more difficult. Because, as you can see, from here, there are a couple of things we need to do. One thing we need to do is be able to ladder this stone. So can we do that? Atari, 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 and then ladder. We still could ladder the stone. Great. Option number 2 is not to worry about the ladder, though. And just play like so. I would expect Tengen to greatly aid the struggle that we're seeing here right now. And this kind of thing, I imagine, would be a little bit more awkward for White nowadays. Because it's hard to imagine what you're going to do. Like if you extend again, then Black will too. And now this is tough. This group is doing pretty well, right? But Black does not play that. And instead, goes ahead and turns into the extension, into the push, into the extension, into the push, into the extension, and one last push, and one last extension. Now, clearly, Black extended a little bit too many times, didn't really have to do all that. But what we do know is that he has Sente. So here's a question for you. Here's a question for you. How many of you would be comfortable with white on this board. Before the extra push, black was okay. As if that really makes a difference. As if that really makes a difference. We could take the pushes off there. The board doesn't fundamentally change. The same basic issue is still there, right? Even though we took 2 of the pushes off the board. So, didn't have to, I agree. Doesn't change a lot. All things considered. Black has 22 points so far. White is good. Indeed. Indeed, indeed, indeed. In theory, I would be with black, but this is Legend88, so I say with white. Yeah, that's why I wanted to pause here. And I've gone ahead and set up another scene. Because even though Peyton ruined it for us with the whole being able to count thing, this board is actually much better for white as opposed to black. Because black doesn't actually have a lot of territory. And white's influence is extremely, extremely thick. So even if you're on the 3-3 train, right? Even if you're on the 3-3 train, this is not a great way to play. Real board. There we go. So that is a thing. Now, again, if we were to go back to what Peyton said, it does stand to reason that since you have the 22 points there, right? We've got Comey. And then if we have 3, 6, 9, 12 with Comey, then we're good. Right? Then we're great. We're fantastic. We're doing well. But you can definitely see the idea at work. The idea has been around for a very long time. Way before AI, right? Which is take all the corners, then reduce the center. White 4-4, sorry. Black 3-3s. Let me go into this again. There we go. And now, with Sente. Easy, right? You've taken 3 of the corners. You've got a living group in the middle. And now you're going for the last one. At this point, as white, I would lose my temper. Yeah, that's what struck me as it as well. And again, I want to reiterate, these two play like about 4 or 5 games practically back to back. Right? About 4 or 5 games back to back. These games are hard because you mess up once and you're done. I mean, that's true. That actually has a legitimate point to it. That is actually legitimate. Because you can't get rid of the points that black has, right? You are never, ever getting rid of these. But all of white's points, technically, they aren't solid yet. So that leaves it open for a mistake for these things to kind of vanish. So that's true. That's true. Yes, I gave you the TLDR of Legend88. So we approach. Guess what we're doing again? Guess what we're doing again? Yuppers! We're doing the same variation. He loves himself them corners. Yes, he does. I wonder if Legend88 is at, or not Legend88, if at night, the person who Black is, I wonder if he's still out there somewhere, feeling like immensely vindicated the minute he started seeing all of the AIs really, really loving the 3 points. If he is like, I was onto something. Oops. It's a thing, I wonder. We'll never know because his account went inactive long before the AI thing came around. So it's not like at night, if the at night account is still actually on Tengen, it's not this guy. So that's a bummer. That'd be cool to see. That'd be interesting. But yeah, same thing. Same thing. Which means we also know that Black is getting Sente. There you go. There you go. Had the right idea all along. I just didn't have the execution. Indeed. I wonder if he's... I do wonder about that. I do wonder about that. White is so confident. Next move is big. Yeah, some of you remember this game. Those of you who have not seen this game before, actual question, where do you think the next move is? Those of you who have not seen it before. If you were white, where would you play next, do you think? Where would you be wanting to play? That's possible all of you have seen it. Because I have mentioned this series quite a few times. K8 or K12. What's K8? K8, 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 K8. Ooh, so we're looking about here or here, huh? Not bad. Not bad. Probably white is winning even without the fun move. Probably, but it's good to see the idea at work. Right? Even if we have the idea, it's good to see the idea at work. So, basic idea here. We have all of this influence. So what we're going to do is divide and conquer. So, white just slides straight through. Slide straight on through. And to be fair, one thing I found interesting about this is I was curious to see if that was something that the AI would like as well, because they tend to play a little bit differently. And sure enough, it is the same thing. 16,000 readouts immediately for slicing through. So congratulations. Congratulations to Legend. He was playing the AI move before the AI even existed. So yeah, he wedges. Black plays the Atari, which creates a cutting point. Why not the other wedge? It's the same thing. I mean, the board is literally the exact same, right? These two corners are the exact same, as are these two. So it could, yeah, doesn't matter. But yes, he got the whole cutting through thing, which is cool. I like it. Atari, extend, and now no matter what black does, he cannot protect both of his cutting points. So black connects one. White cuts the other one. For the very simple reason that both of these have to live, and they cannot both live simultaneously. So it plays the Atari. Extends. Tries to save all the things, right? He's going to try and save both groups simultaneously. But white is really great on this fight because we've got very solid positions everywhere on the board to run to. So it doesn't really matter how much pressure black applies. He can constantly fall back. White can. Tari. And retreat. New cutting point created. Again, cutting points are really, really great for white because, let's face it, he's got all the ladder breakers, right? He's got all the ladders. Can't really do much there. And if white just takes one of these little quadrants, he has more points than his opponent. So it's a horrifyingly losing situation. Threatens to net the stone. Also threatens to come through. Easy defense. Kills the one stone. Wait. No. Sorry, killed it this way. Kills one stone. And keeps profiting, because like I mentioned, he's just going to get, like, one of these areas. And there is nothing his opponent can do about it. So, black's move. Black went ahead and lived with the capturing of the one stone. Next up, live with the other side of that group. Do these things, and you are in a very good position. But can you is the question. Very, very soft move, but it gives solid points. So, like... Black jumps away, trying to make some shapy-shapies. Poking it said shapy-shapies. The attachment's pretty nice, trying to use forcing moves to get shape. Take special note how white is not playing the Hane here. He's not leaving cutting points for his opponent. Threatens to go through. Blocks it. Starts creating some shape here because we can see that from like here, for example, we've got potentially one eye. This probably will never be an eye because you have to like play here and here in that one to try to get that one out. Seems kind of tough. Seems kind of tough. Furthermore, white responds by connecting. So that's nice. That is nice indeed. Attachment means black's now trying to make eyes still. Here we can Hane because we've got a lot of stones in the area. So black backs off. Now that eye, if it was ever going to be an eye, is now never going to be an eye, so we're still hunting. Black goes after the 3 stones. Easy response is pretty easy. Extends. Makes shape, protecting his cutting point. Now, problem with playing this way for black is what? There is a small problem with how black is playing right now with this last move. Let's see who's keeping track. Let's see who's keeping track. What's the problem with black's last move? Gives white thickness? No. The problem is ladders are still favorable to white. All of them are, forever and ever and ever. So whatever he was hoping to do with that attachment doesn't matter. Right? He'll cut. Okay. Black will extend. White will defend. And now where's white? Where's black gonna go? He says, I'm going to go forward. But there's nothing there for him. The cuts just don't work. So he has to peep with the cutting point. Best he can do. Kind of getting towards freedom, right? There's like a little hole here. Last, it is white's move. So that's cut off. And he's still looking. Now, to be fair, there might be an eye here now, right? He can, like, get one. So he just needs one more. Well, problem is, if you're going after all the corners, you're giving up a lot of influence. The question then is, what are you going to do about that influence? Black's idea was to have 3 free moves in the middle of the board, right? And you can see that has not gone well for him. It was a good try. He is still trying to live. Still making the attempt. Do. Looking just about alive now, though. I will give him that much. He is looking just about alive now. Starting to envision a couple of ways where he might be able to make 2 eyes. Right? But not quite. Because like we can make an eye here, but it's in Gote. And we can make an eye here. And that thing's kind of in Gote too. Hane. He's trying to get this one in Sente. If white had played here, then black could do this one because Atari into Atari. So this would be Sente now. White would have to connect. And then he could play here, at which point he's alive. Instead he plays here. Still going after the attempt. Same thing, still going after the attempt. Atari. Grabs one eye. Pokes in. Connects. Instead of trying to play something here, take note. Actually, wait, before I answer it, how do you play it? Let's see who can get it, actually. Who can get it? The whole idea of black right now is just to make this point right here be forcing move. That's all. And sure enough, if you Atari from here, then this is a forcing move. Otherwise, Atari, connect, and then you can't push through here because you don't have the liberties. You only have the two. Right? So we can't play this one. So what do we play instead? C8 Atari. C8 Atari. Nope. 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 Not C8 Atari. F10. Yippers! F10 is the correct one. Way to go. C8. I regret to inform you that you just let your opponent live. Sorry there, Stephen Wayne. F10, congratulations, you have still killed your opponent. Now that's a huge change too. Being able to see that. One of these, this group lives. Wait, what? It was G, not F? Oh, I'm going to give you G. I'm going to give you G. And I'm going to congratulate you. That way it fits my narrative. So I'm still going to say congratulations. Because, yeah, you Atari. And it starts a ladder, right? Now you might be saying, what ladder? Are you stupid? What ladder? Well, you could now do this one into this one, right? And then the 3 stones are dead without this being Sente. That said, the chords are a little off. I'm sorry. So, there is that. However, white has a better idea. Because remember, all of the ladders don't work. Right? All the ladders don't work. So we can't Atari here, obviously. And now we're getting these stones back into the question. Never mind whether this thing here is alive or dead. Suddenly, all of these black stones have re-entered the lovely conversation. Are you dead, sir? Atari. 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 It's no longer really a problem whether or not this group even lives. Like, White has so not cared about this in forever. Right? So it plays here. Atari. Saving the middle group, right? Getting some more stones. There we go. Alright, so White connects up. And now, to be fair, he's now nice and alive. That middle, though, little in trouble. Tries to get nigh. Push. That was a severe hope to be Sente. Right? Alas, just kind of wasn't. So White gets to push again. This is a great attempt. Great attempt. Doesn't quite work, though, because we can't play here and here at the same time. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Tries to kill the middle. Only problem with that, can't do it. How do we not get our middle stones killed out of curiosity? Does anybody know? Anyone know? How do we not get these stones killed? F13. The 1-point jump? Nope, you're dead. Ah, 12. Okay, yep. Good. Empty triangle saves the day. Kills. Threatens to kill. And connects on out. It is at this point that Black gives a nod to White on account that he is dead all through here. That this still needs 2 eyes. And now this one needs 2 eyes as well. So he resigns. At Night says, okay. I can do nothing more. It is your game, sir. But again, these two played repeatedly. His attempts to make this work evolved. Sufficient amount of blood is a very sufficient amount of blood. But I will congratulate Black for finally resigning. Sometimes people just don't like doing that. Because they're weak. Could Black play the middle different and live? No. There's really no way to juggle all of that. Instead of the throw-in. Instead of here? No. This was all dead the minute he couldn't get this move in Sente. He tried really, really hard to get this move in Sente. but white never really let him have it. Without this being Sente, this cannot live. You mean you're weak, that's why they don't resign? What? No, players who continue to play past here are weak. That's why they continue playing past there. Because they don't have the skill set to realize the bad position that they're in. Right? Look about at night is not his style, but he did learn from prior mistakes and change things up. He did, and we're going to look at that now. We are going to look at that next game.